Good evening, everybody. I hope you're all well. We are back again with another live show, and we are back with another non-league football show. This time, we've got Sharkey joining us, who has been taking in the non-league football experience as well. How you doing, man?
Good evening, Peter. Good evening, everyone. I'm absolutely fine. Just busy watching the Arsenal PSG match. Been a good game so far, but yeah, I'm looking forward to talking all things non-league football. It was only a few weeks ago since I was last on your channel, but yeah, good to be on once again.
Good. So, yes, we're going to get Sharky's experience. So he's going to discuss his experience with non-league football. And again, I'll fire in the questions like I did with the other two guys. Feel free to ask questions as well if you want to in the live chat as well. And sure you will appreciate that as well. But remember, you know what to do. If you enjoy the show, hit the thumbs up. It's really important we get the likes so people know where to find us in the search results. Do smash those likes. Again, if you enjoy the show tonight, please, of course, if you're brand new to the channel, if you're not yet subscribed and you enjoy what goes on the channel week in, week out, smash that subscribe button, free to do so. It does help make the channel grow. We're close now to 2,400. So help us get there as soon as we can. Your support means appreciated as always. And please hit that bell notification. It does let you know whenever a live show is taking place or a pre-recorded video gets uploaded. So please hit the bell to make sure you're all up to date with the content that you do not want to miss at all. And if you want to give a donation, feel free. If you want to become a member, it's $99p at the join button to become a member, and you'll be included in the prize draws we do as well. Let's nip into comments quickly. Lee, good evening. Chippers, good evening. Mason's watching in the background tonight. Ian, good evening. Hope you're keeping well as well. And Ian says hi, Peter and Sharky as well. Well, we may as well dive into it then. So I'll start with the first question for you, Sharky. And it is, what made you get into watching non-league football and why?
What got me into watching non-league football at the beginning wasn't about the money of being cheap. It was more or less just getting out and exploring football at a lower level rather than just, the Premier League, which we're accustomed to. At Newcastle, just going to watch, sides lower down like Gateshead, like Newcastle Benfield at grassroots level. And I was told that non-league football is all to do with like passion and, they give everything on the pitch. And yeah, like you say, it's cheap, but the crowd that always behind the team. And like I say, it's a case of when I went to go and watch Gateshead, maybe on a Tuesday night when they were doing all right in the National League. I remember going watching Gateshead under Gary Mills, and they were playing, a very good, attractive, expansive football, which, was getting fans through the door. And I just loved it. Like the football was great, and it's something I'd never seen before. And I sort of carried that on up until this very day, which I'm still watching Gateshead from time to time. Not as much as watching Newcastle Benfield, which I have been watching for maybe 3 to 4 seasons now. And they're another local club around the doors, and you also got Heaton Stannerton. And yeah, like I say, I just love everything about non-league football and what it brings.
Yeah, absolutely, totally. Yeah, I've been to some of the ones you've been to as well, and they've been really good to go and see as well. So, good evening, David. Hope you're keeping well. So yeah, I absolutely. I mean, which I'll run onto the next question then. So, what was the first ever non-league game you attended?
Oh, you put us on the spot now. Can't quite remember, if I'm honest with you. I couldn't give you the team that Gateshead were playing, but I remember it being on a Tuesday night, and I cannot remember if it was in the league or if it was in like a cup competition. But I just do remember it being like a Tuesday night. You'd finish, work or college, and you would just go out and watch some football just to get out of the house and just a bit of fresh air and just seeing some of the talent come through, and you see a lot of them going play in the Football League and some of them in the Premier League. I'm talking like back in 2014. It's now 2025, so that's like 11 years later. And there's a lot of these players have moved on to bigger and better things. And yeah, I couldn't give you the club that Gateshead played, but I do remember them winning, and it was quite a comfortable win in the end. And they had a manager as well who I mentioned in Gary Mills, who was very experienced, and I think he has to go down as probably one of Gateshead's greatest ever managers, I would say, in terms of he nearly got Gateshead into the EFL, come so close, lost to Cambridge at Wembley. And obviously you've seen what Cambridge have done, since they've been promoted. And, he's had some experienced players. And I love the football, and it was just good to have, that time of watching Gateshead where they were actually in a good moment. Obviously they've had better moments as well in recent times. But like I say, when I first started watching Gateshead, it was under him, and like I say, he had a good squad there, and this was non-league level. And I thought, what it is, they're not half a bad side, and you were hoping that they would get over the line into the EFL. But like I say, they were getting decent crowds as well. I think they were getting something like 1,500 on a Tuesday night, which was decent.
Yeah, that's how they normally get on those kind of games. Those capacity. On games that we're getting at the time, yeah. Good evening, Niall. Hope you're keeping well as well. But yeah, plus you've got, as you mentioned, you've been to some of the other games. You've been to watch other clubs as well. You've said Bedfield's one of them. You've said Heaton Stanningen's another one. There any more you remember?
Non-league that I've been to. I'm trying to think now. I've been at Berwick Rangers, but that's like in the Scottish game, if that makes sense.
Well, I would say that's probably still non-league football.
They are, because they're in because they're in the Lowland League, so I'll take the 5th tier of Scottish football. Trying to think of just Heaton Stan. But I've been at Dunstan as well. They played Carlton Town, so I've been to see Dunstan.
I was there on Saturday. Just a shame they came up short in that penalty shootout.
Oh yeah, I've seen that as well. It's twice now that's happened, but it's good to see that a lot of the players are committing their futures to the club, which is important. They're not giving up. Also, I've been to Whitley Bay. I've been to Blythe Spartans as well. So I've been South Shields. There's another one.
Nice one. You've been to Carry Few. By the sounds of it, some of those ones you mentioned I haven't been to yet. Haven't watched South Shields play. I haven't watched North Shields yet play as well.
I recommend you go and watch South Shield. They're very close to Bede Metro Station.
They are, yeah.
So South Shields, like I say, they're in the National League North. Not quite with it in terms of look like they're going up, but they seem to get a decent crowd there, week in, week out. So definitely club worth watching. North Shields I've not been to, but I've heard good things about them. Whitley Bay I'll definitely recommend. I think you've mentioned that in the past.
Yeah, still haven't been there
about Whitley Bay, and many more.
Absolutely. Coffee, good evening. Hope you're keeping well. Well, Ian says good team Berwick, Sharkey.
Well, there haven't been a good side this season. I think they had a real struggle, and then they end up changing managers, and I think they had a decent end to the season. I think for any Berwick fan, they'd be disappointed how it's all panned out. But, with a new season, a fresh start, there's always that opportunity to go on better and look to get back into Scottish League 2. It's tough because, at that level, winning the league, or the Lowland League, should I say, doesn't guarantee you a spot in the next league. You have to play the side that's already been relegated from League 2. So it's a real challenge, of which East Kilbride are having that challenge right now. They won the league last year, missed out on the playoffs, and unfortunately for them, that start the league all over again, despite winning the league. Do you know what I mean? So it's a structure that needs sorted out in Scottish football, but hey, that's just my opinion.
Ian does like to go watch Berwick by the sound of it as well.
Sorry, in terms of Berwick as a club, fantastic. I've had a little look around the changing rooms. I've been around the ground. It's very old, historical. It's it's part of a racing stadium. It's like a race course, if that makes sense. But we have Brough Park over here in Newcastle. Well, Speedway. That's what I'm trying to say. Speedway, which we no longer have, unfortunately. But you've got the Berwick Bandits, who also use the facility. So, like I say, Berwick Rangers has, a lot of history. It's just a shame, what's happened to them in recent times. But the people in and around the club are, were fantastic. Also, not to mention Dunbar United have been there as well, and they're non-league at Scottish level.
Yeah, I've heard they are. Here they are, not a bad side as well, Dunbar.
They're in the 6th tier of Scottish football, so just the league below the Lowland League. So, they're a very ambitious club, and pass them quite a lot on the train. So, why not go and pay a visit and see what they're about? And like I say, they're very welcoming as well in terms of how they welcome me, and again having a look around the ground, inside the dressing rooms, and yeah, like I say, they couldn't have done much more. And I believe on the day they actually end up winning something like 5-0, something like that. But yeah, like I say, it's non-league football. It's like it's brilliant because you get to meet the local people. It's cheap, cheerful, food's cheap, tickets are cheap, everything's just cheap. But you get good, honest football, and
There you go.
like I say, it doesn't cost the world to go and watch the
No,
local
it
talent
doesn't.
coming through.
It doesn't really, does it?
No.
Yeah, Ian says it is the Speedway that makes the money at the Shield more than the football club.
Oh, absolutely, because like I say, there's been times where I think Berwick Rangers have had a game on a Saturday for 8 o'clock, and then afterwards they've had to then transfer over to Speedway, and they get good crowds. So as long as the Speedway is pulling the money in, it's still helping the football club because they obviously use the ground as well.
Absolutely. We've got Jonathan in the chat. Hope you enjoy. It was good to see you. It's James Park, the last home game, Sharkey. Hope you keep well. Hope you're keeping too. Yeah, very thanks. Well, Jonathan, hope you are as well. We'll go on to the next question. Well, let's get your thoughts on it because I presume you were there, and let's see. I presume a lot will want to hear your thoughts on what happened on the last non-league game you attended.
Yeah, Gateshead. I'll be honest, I haven't watched Gateshead a lot this season. There's a lot of factors, to why I haven't watched Gateshead, and it's a shame, what's happened to them this season. It's all unravelled really after the final whistle of Gateshead not getting, into the playoffs. But I think they were staring that in the face. If I'm honest, they had a really good, start to the season, and they just didn't really live up to the expectations in the second half of the season. It's just, I think Greg Ollie said that they could have been top by New Year's Day, and the defeat, whatever, just didn't materialise to get them top of the league. And sort of, you get rid of Rob Elliott, he moves on, you lose a lot of your players, you dismantle the squad, you disrupt the rhythm, then players will get frustrated, and it sort of shows on the pitch. I can't say how many games I've won. I've heard 2, I've heard 5, whatever. But at the end of the day, the facts are the facts. That they've bottled it, and Southend, they deserve to be in the playoffs. They've put on a good run towards the end of the season, and the way Gateshead have been in the second half of the season, they don't deserve to be in the playoffs as much as it's financially cost them. It's a case of too many mistakes, and I don't want to say it too much because, like I say, I don't go to Gateshead Stadium every week, but it just seems like there's a lot of problems at the top which need to be, rectified. When players like Greg Ollie are coming out personally speaking about what's going on behind the scenes and in the takeover, and fans booing the manager as well, and like I say, I think the whole situation at Gateshead, it's kind of a collective, isn't it? Like what goes on the pitch, the players need to take responsibility for them not going up. Obviously, the manager needs to take responsibility for maybe the tactics and how it's all being perceived on the pitch and how the fans have seen it. But in terms of the top, they need to take a lot of responsibility for the chopping and changes of managers and players, and not putting the funds back into the paying budget to maybe help the manager to strengthen the squad to take it to the next level. I know that punching and 8th would be a good finish any other time, but the fact of being in that
those
playoff, at least 95% of that season, it's been a real it's been a real bottler from them.
Did you say it was 1-1?
No, I said it's been a real bottler, from Gateshead.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, the game is currently still 1-0 Paris Saint-Germain.
I thought you said 1-1 a bit. But I mean, do you think the job came too soon for Magny? Because I mean, it was his first managerial job. He's never done an end job like that before, and they were in a good position within those playoffs, and just right at the last hurdle, they've went and slipped away from it. I mean, they've lost games that they shouldn't be losing to.
Losing to sides
one of them. They did lose to Hartlepool, who are below them as well.
Yeah, I mean, losing to sides at the bottom end of the league hasn't helped, and just not getting over the line. It's a case of a Paul Magne. It's all right saying that now when they haven't got over the line and he's struggled. But with Gateshead, have they really looked outside of Gateshead Football Club when it's come to managerial recruitment? Because back then, they've looked for the likes of Mike Williamson, who's obviously played for the club, took him on. He's then moved on to MK Dons and Carlisle. And then Rob Elliott's another one. Rob Elliott didn't play a lot for the club, but then when Mike Williamson moved on, they went for Rob Elliott, and he's done an amazing job. And he won the trophy for them, which is a big thing for Gateshead when they had all the problems with the stadium situation and the council and the AFL. It was good to see that they won a trophy when really they should have been in the playoffs. And through that, obviously Rob Elliott got his move to EFL side Crawley Town. Obviously they've been relegated. He's lost his job. Rob Elliott's lost his job, and then from Rob Elliott, they've gone then to look at Carl Magne, who's Gateshead through and through. Gateshead lad, supports the club, and he's been given the job based on the fact he's been on the EFL with the likes of Mike Williamson, and he obviously knows what Gateshead's about. Has it come too early for him? Like again, it's maybe yes, maybe no. It's difficult to really say because if you think of it this way, he's walked into a squad that's not his. They don't have the same identity as him, and he's had to really try and get the best out of what he's got. And it would be different if they were his players. Do you know what I mean? If they so poor all season, but it's the fact he's walked in, and obviously the squad's been getting dismantled. Apparently he's had his hands tied behind his back in terms of finances, and that's coming from the words of Greg Ollie. And then obviously through that, he can't bring in the players that he wants, because if you've got the players you want, they often tend to respond. And as for Magne, he's had it tough. Don't get us wrong, it's been a dismal second half of the season for Gateshead, and it's a case of where do they go from here, because he can only do the best he can, but then Gateshead need to look at themselves. Why did they not look at somebody with some National League experience, or someone who has a little bit of AFL experience that can maybe take Gateshead to that next level? But at the end of the day, it either works for you or doesn't. And at the minute, I don't think it's working. And as Greg Ollie said, they've had players in the door, and they've got lucky in the past when they've been replaced. But on this occasion, it hasn't worked. The players that have come in, they're playing for themselves. Some of them don't even belong to Gateshead, so they're happy just to leave at the end of the season. But I think, like I say, there needs to be a statement from the club very soon, from Gateshead Football Club, to communicate with the fans who deserve better.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think Greg Ollie has been a miss for them as well since he picked up that injury, and that ruled him pretty much throughout a lot of the season as well. So I think he's been a really massive miss for them, because he's been one hell of a player for them, and to lose a player like him for majority of that season was a big blow.
He's Gateshead through and through, and just watching his interview there, he's passionate, he loves the club, he wants the best for the club, he wants to see Gateshead go one step better, shall I say, and to get into the EFL. And for the way the season's just capitulated for them, he's obviously shocked and disappointed. His contract's not getting renewed by the looks of it. You never know, that might have changed, I'm not too sure. But you really feel for the lad, because he really wants to help Gateshead, and when you keep chopping and changing, whether that be the managerial situation or the player situation, whatever, it's always going to be a distraction, and you can never, really move forwards. And like I say, I feel like those at the top who, like I say, I don't have any association with, and what I mean by that is I don't want to speak to them. Obviously, apparently they're fans of the club. They'll know what they want in terms of trying to move Gateshead forward. But, like I say, as a Toon fan, I want to see Gateshead do well, because, they're just over the water. And I'd love nothing more than to see Gateshead, in the AFL. It'd be class.
It would be good to see them in there one time, yeah.
But like I say, they've got so many obstacles, with the stadium and with the whole situation. Even still with the council, if that's the case, and and how they can maybe build a new ground or whatever, because they have that lease with the council, don't they? So
they do.
Yeah, like I say, there's so much in the way for them, but let's hope there's some other that can sort themselves out. Whether they keep Magne or whether they don't remains to be seen.
Yep. We'll get in a couple of questions I've come in the chat as well. So Chippers asks, what do you make of Blythe Spartan, Sharkey? Because you've been before there as well.
Again, another passionate football club. You don't want to see local sides suffer. They've had 2 back-to-back relegations, and every time I've been to Blythe, they've always had a passionate crowd. They're always getting behind the team. They've had some poor, mismanagement at the top. They had, an ownership last summer, which technically failed, and there was no experience. Obviously, they had Nobby Solana, who had no experience at the level, and it was always going to be tough for them. I thought they were going to do a lot better in the division that they've just left, rather than go straight through the trapdoor. And the fact they're playing Blythe Town, I think, speaks volumes. They've got a derby against Blythe Town. Who would have thought? Like I say, I love visiting Blythe's ground. I think it's great. Croft Park has got a lot of history, in the FA Cup, and hopefully, they can get it right this summer. Likewise, Gateshead, and they can both just bounce back and be ready for the new season.
That's it. Well, Demon Chipper says Blythe Derby. Yeah, absolutely. There'll be a Blythe Derby next season as well. So I think I wouldn't mind going checking that myself. If it is a clash with the Newcastle game, obviously, but I think that would be a good game to go to. It's
great for the town as well, to see a club like Blythe Town playing Blythe Spartans. Again, it speaks volumes of Blythe Town as a club, how they've risen through the leagues, and obviously Blythe have gone down the leagues. That's Blythe Spartans. But like I say, when I've watched Gateshead and Blythe Spartans in the past, it's always been a great game of football, at non-league level. And even if you mention the word Blythe Spartans, they're well known. Do you know what I mean, to the world? So, like I say, hopefully they can find a way out and they can recruit the right players, and they can continue to hopefully move forward back up the pyramids rather than looking down. Because if they go one more, then potentially they could be playing Newcastle Benfield in the 9th tier, and that's unheard of.
Yeah.
But they will have some local derbies, if you want to class them as derbies. They will be playing the likes of Heaton Stanton. There's one.
Yep.
Blythe Spartans versus Heaton Stanton's a fixture, and then you've got Dunstan, I believe, who's just missed out as well. So they've got some local games, Blythe. But like I say, hopefully they can kick on in the summer.
Good to see Heaton's standing and finishing 12th place after we're just above the drop zone. That won their 3 remaining games and they're finishing 12th place.
Another club local to me, not a million miles away. Obviously, I tend to watch Benfield a lot more than Heaton Stan, but I always like to see Heaton Stan do well. I'm pleased for them. I'm pleased for the management team, and I'm so pleased, for the players that they've managed to get over the line. Of course, it's for relegation because of the budget, but it just goes to show budget doesn't matter as long as you recruit the right players and you have the right management team. Then anything's possible, and they've done it in style. And like I say, they can look forward to another season, in the division, and continue to go on some good, away trips as well, and pull some good sides at Groundswell Park, and make some good money from it. And like I say, hopefully, Benfield can be promoted at some point and join them.
Yeah, totally. Same with Blue Star, just missed out on a penalty shootout. Could it be their season next season as well? Maybe
they've got to be. They've got to be the outstanding favourites, haven't they?
Got to be one. Yeah, absolutely. Ian says, I don't think the ownership of Gateshead is helping. It needs sorted. I mean, what happened with this takeover? I don't know. Was it ever happening? I'm not so sure.
See, I was very sceptical about the takeover of Gateshead because you're talking about Victor and Ichibi, and then Greg Ollie's come out and said apparently certain individuals have walked into the dressing room trying to put the points across, yet they don't actually own the football club. And he said that was distracting for the players. A lot of them, weren't happy about it. And listen, it's something's going to have to get sorted at Gateshead, whether they keep the same, ownership that they have, or they're going to potentially get somebody coming in. They're going to have to, pull together as a club and really get things taken. Otherwise, next season they could be in that sort of dreaded relegation battle, if that makes sense. They'll be around mid-table, bottom half.
That's what I fear for them as well, if they don't sort it out. Apparently, PSG have got a penalty.
I was just about to say that, yes.
Blythe be playing Ashington next season. Yeah, up the year 189.
Exactly.
Blythe will be playing Dunstan. Yeah.
I think, you know what, like in non-league football, there's so much to look forward to. And as you were saying, this is like non-league. It's good to see that it's getting a lot more interest. It's grown. A lot more fans are because a lot of the fans, they can't watch Newcastle, if that makes sense. It's hard to get tickets, and a lot of fans are turning towards our local non-league clubs, and they're really enjoying it, and they're taking a lot out of it, and they're going again and again. Some fans, they'll always have their opinions in non-league, but unless you go and experience a game, then you'll never have a true opinion of it.
There you go.
I would say it's value for money. You're not always going to get a good game of football, but hey, if you get the passion, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's a lot of the time of day is about the passion as well. Well, of course, Gates said we'll be travelling up the A69 next season because they're away at Carlisle.
That'd be a great fixture.
That will be
and I wonder if Mark Hughes is still going to be the dugout for Carlisle as well. It's still up in the air at the minute.
Yeah,
is he going to stay on?
Absolutely.
Morecambe as well is another one for Gateshead. They've dropped into the National League from League Two.
There you go.
Derek Adams.
So, yep, absolutely. Yeah, as I mentioned, Blythe will be playing Dunstan. Yep, trip up the A1M for Blythe. Liam says he's got a friend who supports East Heat Standing. A nice one. The first time, I went to that game when you were there as well when they beat Liver's Edge 2-1. Liver's Edge were confirmed relegation in that game as well. Good game to watch.
It was a good game of football. I thought Heaton Stanton totally controlled it. I thought they were the better side, and they took their chances, got the goals, but then they still had to, win on the Monday, which they did, and they managed to confirm safety. And I think they actually won their final game of the season as well. So I think they ended up winning like 3 on the bounce, which
was the 3 remaining games. Yeah, it was the 3 remaining games. Liver's Edge, Ashington, and it was North Ferriby.
So, like I say, Heaton Stanton can't do it. The penalty's been saved.
Oh.
Yeah, Davaraya saves it.
Oh, so it's not over just yet, I'm guessing.
I'm just watching it back. Yeah, he's got a hold of it there. No, it's obviously... Yeah, let's say good dive, good save, and still remains 1-0 PSG.
Absolutely. Red cards and that far for clubs like Blythe and Standing into travel who got promoted. Did they get promoted? I wondered, they must have got promoted then, Red car. That's below that's the division they were playing in with where Benfield and Blue Star or Red car.
Red car, yeah. I can't remember if it was Red car, if it was somebody else, but they were definitely up there. So if they've been promoted, then congratulations. Good side.
There you go then. Yeah, Liam says going to Nundy's the best thing I did after the Super League. Well, I know you're going like to watch Dulwich Hamlet, and he's planning on going to Carlisle next season. Go for it. Go for it. I might try and get myself up there as well.
It's not a million miles away. It's only like an hour and a half on the train.
An hour and a half train. Not even that, maybe. Yeah, just over an hour train journey. So absolutely, yeah. Red Car won the league, according to Mason. I'd never checked the tables.
Yeah, so if that's the case, then they will be playing the likes of Heaton Stand next season. And like I say, congratulations to them. It's not an easy league to get out of. It's as Blue Stars being proven there. Yeah. No matter how much you throw at it, and you have to find a way. And that's not me being critical towards Blue Star, because, like I say, I don't mind Blue Star as a football club.
I've been to Blue Star before.
The league is what it is. You have to find a way, to get out of it. You have your winners, and then you have your playoffs. It's not like 3 or 4 can go up. But what I will say is they've got a great setup at Blue Star, and I think, in my opinion, I could be wrong this time next year, but Blue Star have to be your outright, favourites to go up in terms of winning the league, because not many clubs or local clubs around the area will want to go to Blue Star because they have such a good atmosphere, and that was proven. When they had over 2,500 for the playoff final, and it's just a shame how it happened, on a penalty shootout, but someone has to win. And to be fair, to Blythe Town, they were up there all season, so a shootout was probably about right.
Oh, then there you are. Just a shame Dunstan came up short as well, unfortunately.
Again, another shootout, and
there was just not a lot of clear cut. It was a good game of football. It's just maybe not in terms of like a lot of chances, I would say.
I watched your vlog, and it was very hard to pick a side that was maybe better than the other. I think it was a case of
it was
it's fine margins
during the game.
It's fine margins, Peter, and you have to find a way to maybe get that goal. If you can't, you're just going to have to do it on the penalty shootout.
I mean, just a shame it was that first penalty they missed. That really haunted them. I think it was all down to that first penalty. And apparently it's 2-0 PSG now.
Oh, yeah, I've just looked at the screen. It is, yes.
So
Let's have a look.
there you are. PSG off the final. Arsenal are crashing out.
But to be fair, did he expect anything less?
No, definitely didn't at all. So here you go. But yeah, but the piss that missed the penalty for Dunstan played for Gateshead and Blythe.
Was that JJ O'Donnell by any chance?
It was JJ O'Donnell.
Shame, like he's a good lad.
Oh,
good player as well.
He was, and he missed the penalty. I think he tried to go down the middle.
I tell you what, as well, Dunstan get a decent crowd.
Mm-hmm.
They get a very good crowd there, Dunstan. Like I say, they're very capable of going up another level. I'm sure they're in the same. Is Hebben in that league as well? Try Hebben are there as well.
Off the top of your head.
But they're in the same league as Dunstan.
Yeah,
I think they finished around mid-table. I could be wrong. I haven't checked the table properly, but I'm sure that they're in that league.
Mm-hmm.
The Northern Premier.
Yeah.
It's a great ball, that, to be fair. That's game over that one.
Shildon joined them as well, who'll be in the same league as Heaton. There you are. So
Shildon have been up there for a few seasons, and they played Benfield a few times and absolutely smashed them off the park. So you kind of know the end.
Liam says, go to the away games with the Anoka League teams. You will enjoy it. Even Liam does it with Dulwich Hamlet. So maybe that's a good suggestion to look to do that. Hebben or the league above, says Mason. So they're just in the league above. What I'll do is I'll just ask a question that Covey's for the other guy that he's asked the other guys. Top 3 scrans from all the teams you visit, so meaning the best food you've had. What was it? At the ground you've been to. Top 3.
Oh, goodness me. So I don't tend to eat a lot of like different food when it comes to non-league. I'm just very basic.
I don't really buy food. Well, do you know what I did? I did at Dunstan, which I'm keeping for Friday, of course, and we'll put it on Friday's show, obviously.
So, like I say, like it Benfield and the same as with Gateshead, really. I just tend to go for like a cheeseburger in non-league, and obviously it's cheap. And then you kind of go down towards like your chips and your chocolate.
Yeah,
they could be like a top 3. Right? It's basic because you're not going to get the best of the best at non-league compared to what you would get like at a Premier League club when they seem to do carveries these days. They do like chicken and chips. I can't speak for all non-league clubs, but like I say, when you're talking like lower non-league, grassroots, it also depends on your club and the budget, like what they have, in terms of catering. Like I say, it has to be somewhere like a burger, like maybe chips and chocolate, like that. They're the 3 that you pick.
Yeah, the thing with the non-league, you can take your drink out. Well, they'll probably have to put it in a plastic cup though, but you can take it and drink it while watching a game.
It's a great incentive as long as you behave and you drink responsibly and you enjoy the game.
And the prices are reasonable at non-league as well. Again, when you look at the football league, it's an arm and a leg.
It's not just that as well. It's costing a fortune, isn't it? Like, in the Premier League, the EFL, and then sort of your top-end non-league, because even non-league clubs now can charge a little bit depending on the club. But in terms of like your lower leagues, in that non-league level, you're maybe paying like £1 for a chocolate bar, which is like standard. You're probably paying like maybe £2.50, £3 for a burger, and then you're probably paying like maybe 70 pence to £1 for a bag of crisps. Whereas at like Premier League level, you're paying, I don't want to say the prices because you'll know for yourselves, know what you're paying, and there's a real difference.
Paddy Saka's pulled one back for Arsenal now.
Oh, took a deflection. Oh, it's a bit of a it's 2-1. It's a real scramble. I think that's a gift from PSG. Well, actually, in my predictions, I actually did say 2-1 to Paris Saint-Germain.
I think I did as well. Liam's team does Greek food. Nice, interesting. And Tooting and Mitcham sells Jamaican food.
And that's what I'm saying. Like when you mentioned top three, a lot of the clubs that I visit at non-league level don't seem to go that far, which is fair enough. Again, they've got to know their budget and what they're catering for and attendances. And yeah, like I say, it's your standard free, isn't it? Burger, chips, and chocolate.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to say, Julie, if you're still in the chat, what a shame what happened to Dagenham and Redbridge.
I heard they were relegated on the final day, weren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Wheelstone stayed up, just.
Yeah.
They had this takeover as well, which didn't seem to have worked out for them.
Yeah, because I know you used to like, well, you said you liked to go watch a Dagenham, Julie. What the fuck, man? Just do standard grub like burgers and hot dogs, stuff like Greek things and roasts are not what I wanted a match. I guess Chippers is not a fan of those. All them. Okay, next question. Oh, well, the thing is, I could ask this one, but the non-league football scenes are pretty much finishing now. But maybe the next one you plan to attend, possibly when the new season starts. Who do you think would be the first club you might go see first for the new season?
It'll probably be Newcastle Benfield, if I'm honest, because they'll have, the pre-season friendlies and the tickets will be next to nothing. I mean, you'll probably pay something like £3, maybe £4 to get in. And then on obviously normal season, it's like £7-8. I think the World Cup, that's standard, but when it gets towards like say July time, you are looking at like pre-season at all levels, and I think Benfield will be the first club I look at, given it's a local club to me, not a million miles away.
Interesting. People want G-Ross at football give over. Well, it depends. Some clubs have got different tastes, I suppose. Exactly. If they wanted that, if they've got it, if fans think they're going to buy it, they'll sell it. Yeah, they'll sell it. Non-league clubs other than Dulwich Hamlet I got planned is Torquay United, Hereford and Carlisle. I know Torquay's sounds a decent one. I know John's been to that one as well, and he says it's been fantastic there as well. Hereford as well. And, of course, Carlisle United, which are now in the National League as well. So, yeah, I mean, go for it. All I could say is go for it. I mean, I'm going to look into some other ones I've not been to before as well. I've not been to Hartlepool United before. Maybe
he has a fixture next season, Peter. He has a fixture in the National League that was not long ago, a League One, League Two fixture. Hartlepool versus Carlisle United.
Here you are.
That's in the National League, and you've got, Carlisle going as far down as what they're called now, the team that the name escapes us now, but they got promoted in the southern side, and they've got travel miles. I know Gateshead have actually got it the same. I'm sure I'll be corrected in the chat, but they got promoted from the Southern League.
Mason just said it's Truro, which are all the way in Cornwall.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. Julie says she's planning to go and watch the Daggers more next season, or she might come up for the odd Hartlepool game. Go for it, Julie. Why not?
They're going to be in the National League South next season now, Dagenham and Redbridge.
Yes, he will be, since I went down now. Might get myself to Blythemore with all them. Go for it, Chippers. If there's no Newcastle game on a Saturday, why not go and take in some non-league action just on that day? If you've got nothing, if you've got nothing to do on a weekend. Because I'm going to start. I want to start.
Morpeth to what I would love to have done, but the problem with Morpeth is
I have seen Morpeth Town away, but not at their place.
Yeah, I've seen Morpeth before, like on the road, but apparently it's difficult to get to. You've got to get some shuttle bus from the station. You can't exactly walk it or anything like that.
Did you not?
Apparently it's in the middle of nowhere.
I think I've got. I did see a sign for it one time, but I forgot where it was again.
Yeah, you got to get picked up.
Oh well, it's just if you leave in the town centre, something like that. I think it's up the road that leads to the train station. I think. agree. Would love to play with FIFA with Hartlepool because David says the. Oh, no, there's one. Hold on, just missed one. Yeah. Oh, the FIFA need to start in the National League. That would be good. That I think it would be.
Oh, yeah, that's one for you, Peter. You talk about deep non-league. I was in Hexham. Must have been about 6-7 years ago, and it
Another
must have
one.
been like very late on. It must have been like 6 o'clock or whatever it was, and I had an open return on the train. And I remember walking past the ground, and there was a match on. I just stood there and started watching. Hexham. So there's one for you. Hexham FC.
Yeah, Hexham again. Another one. Another one that I've just thought of as well. That's Wrighton and Crowcrook. Not far from me as well.
Yes, I have been there. Wrighton and Crowcrook, Albion. It was let's just say it was very difficult to get to from Wylam Station, but you live and learn. They actually lost, I believe. Yeah, it was to Jarrow.
I think it was, yeah.
So that was
David's asking, will there be more investment in the non-league clubs using Wrexham as the ideal model? Will you look where Wrexham are now?
It depends, like what your motive is. Like again, if you're trying to be like a Wrexham almost immediately, it's never going to work out like that. But if you have a structure in place and you want to go step by step, then there's always that possibility to get as high as the Championship. Obviously, Wrexham, the sky's the limit for them. But in terms of not having that profile, because we know Ryan Reynolds and with Wrexham, they've got the profile, to maybe one day get in the Premier League and then the next 5 to 10 years, because it's going to be a while for them to get out of the Championship, because they have to find their way. They have to buy well. They can't just expect to go straight up into the Premier League. It's tough. Do you know what I mean? Especially with their with that stadium and whatnot. But like I say, if you just go to buy like a random non-league club, you have to understand like the area, the community, what for that club, and understand like what it means, because I know Gateshead, and we'll go back to them. They've had dodgy owners in the past, and it's not all worked out. They've promised this and they've promised that, and it's gone the other way.
I think some of the Hartlepool fans are not happy with their owners a little bit as well.
Hartlepool is another one, and it does happen. So, if you're going to buy a non-league club, you have to go into that non-league club with the right purposes, not just being there for yourself. You've got to, want to do something for the community.
Yeah, that's it. Absolutely. Non-league football is very good to watch. Always entertains, says Julie. Absolutely. Liam says he's seen Morecambe play a couple of times, but just not at the Globe Arena. Mason says my cousin's little lad plays for one of the right now. Nice one there, Mason. That's good, that, like. Yeah, I have seen it. It looks classy. Yeah, Blythe's had ownership problems as well. Yeah, and Julie says Hartlepool needs an overhaul. There you go. What does that tell you about it? Hereford United went bust like a decade ago. Dolland had ownership issues as well. And the team that went bust had to go into the non-league divisions as well. Bury
FC, League One. You have Scunthorpe United as well. They've gone all the way through the divisions down to the National League North, and they're still there now.
Yeah.
It wasn't long ago that Newcastle, back in 2010, were playing them in the Championship.
Yeah, non-league football is the reason the FA Cup is so special. I couldn't agree more, David. Absolutely. And he was one of the mascots at the Wrighton games as well, so that's another club.
Because you look at Gateshead, for example, they're probably one of the clubs at non-league level that've got the capabilities of getting into the third round. So when you see Gateshead maybe getting the FA Cup first round, second round, it's always important, even Blythe, if you want, go there and support them, like get behind them, because you could be the difference between, Gateshead, for example, pulling off a good tie in the third round, or maybe not making it at all if you don't turn up. Do you know what I mean? Especially if you've got the odd money and it's a big game, let's just say the second round, and they play, I don't know, let's say Gateshead play Rochdale or Oldham or someone like that, or someone from League Two, League One. You never know. It could be the next move to get them into the third round to play a Championship or a Premier League side.
Yeah, that absolutely would be. Another question. I'm not sure if you have, Sharkey. You done any hospitality in the non-league or not? Not yet.
Nah, I'm not really one of them for hospitality. If I'm honest, I'm just like any normal fan. Just go there, soak up the atmosphere, enjoy it, drink, maybe some food, and just get behind the team that you're watching at non-league level. Because, like I say, that's me. I'm not against hospitality, but I've never really given it too much thought.
I may look into it one time. Yeah, Maidstone was a kick away again. They were. I remember that as well. It's 2 questions to go now. Have you bought any merchandise from any non-league clubs?
Merchandise. I don't think I have, to be honest with you, at any club that I've been at.
So anything from kits to scarves, it. You've got badges. I know you've got.
Oh yeah, like pin badges. I mean, like, if I go to a football ground, yeah, like if I go to a football ground, I mean, I do a lot of the Scottish clubs as well, and a lot of the local non-league clubs around the doors. And if there's a pin badge to be had, I'll take it and I'll put it in the book because it's like a memory of where you've been, and it's something you can just look back on, and it's maybe something I'm going to look into. Maybe buying something from Benfield, maybe a shirt, or like Gateshead, getting a home shirt or an away shirt. It's something I've never really. Yeah. I'm giving too much thought of, but it's something I could definitely look into in the future.
Well, I've got two gated shirts, one from the 1920 season and from the 21-22 season.
I'll flip the question over to you. Would you look to buy any more?
I'm not sure. Oh, that's a tough one. I'm not going to rule it out, actually.
Like, would you buy like a Dunstan shirt or a Blythe shirt or a Heaton Stan?
Again, maybe. Only thing is, I've looked at some of them and they don't go up to like a lot of big sizes.
That's fair enough.
I think some only go up to about 2XL, which is the only problem. And that's the only problem I'd say is though don't go all the way to the full size a lot of the time. But you never know. See what happens. But I've got 2 gated ones, which I really, really carry as well. So. Basically says Sharkey, some long-term fans are gated or down whether gated will be a club next season.
I mean, it's one of them where it's raw right now because they haven't made the playoffs and they've been there for 95% of the season. It was only the last game where they were trying to get back into the playoffs and Southend overtook them. But again, that was coming. Gateshead have lost games that they maybe shouldn't have lost, and they should maybe have ground out a bit more. And you look at the likes of Hartlepool and Boston United, who fair enough, went on a great run and stayed up, done the unthinkable. But for a club like Gateshead, where they had the advantage, they should really have taken it. They should have won a lot more games in the second half of the season. But listen, you can't look back, and the club now need to be transparent with the fans and just put out a statement, just say something. Yeah. I've not really seen an interview from the manager. That normally comes out after a game. You've seen 1 or 2 from the players, but it would be nice just to say something and just say, listen, it's not been the season that we wanted, but we're going to do X, Y, and Z to try and put it right.
That's it. Yeah, the fans need some clarity from the club. They really do.
Absolutely.
Tunali says my nephew's lad plays for Darlington under 18s. Cool, nice one. Liam says he collects programs, not pin badges. Fair enough. Still something to collect and keep memories for. I suppose.
Plus 5 minutes of the game left, Peter. PSG Arsenal.
Oh, the PSG is going through now.
Into injury time now.
Oh. Good evening, Archer. Hope you're well. Good evening, lads. I might get myself down to Carlisle next season to see Gateshead v Carlisle.
Yeah, it's definitely one I'm looking into. Gateshead, Carlisle, Gateshead. It's definitely a fixture I would love to go to 10 next season. I think that would be a good one. Also, I'd like to go and explore the possibility of watching Gateshead against Hartlepool.
Yeah, absolutely. Why not? Definitely. Maybe they just go and see the clubs who play a bit further, sit in the home end. Well, according to David, apparently Mark Hughes is keen to stay at Carlisle United as head coach for next season. Fair play to him if that happens. But Mason's just said there's a few rumours that Rob Elliott could be going to Carlisle.
Well, the thing is, if you're Carlisle, you stick with Mark Hughes because he's got the experience.
He's done in the football. He's done in the football leagues.
I mean, yes, fair enough at the top end. I get it, but if he's eager to stay and he's got the drive, and at the end of the day, the players were clearly playing for him because they were getting results. They were only a couple of results away from staying up. Do you know what I mean? It looked impossible when he got the job. but then obviously it's not worked out in the end in
No,
terms
it
of
hasn't, has it?
they're always playing catch up. But if they get off to a good start, then you just never know next season.
Yeah, that's it.
If you're Carlisle and you've obviously you're in the National League for the first time in over 20 years, you want a fast start. You want to be able to get things ironed out. You want your manager in place, then Mark Hughes to be backed, and then you move forward from there. You don't want to be playing catch up.
No, definitely not. Yeah, hopefully they can get themselves out of that. I mean, it'll be interesting to see who leaves and who stays there.
Carlisle will be the favourites to win the league, but that's not always a given.
No, it's not always a given at all. Definitely is, because Morecambe will probably be challenging for it as well. They've gone down as well. They're going to want to get themselves back up as well.
Morecambe's is a difficult one, actually, because I don't know what their sort of finances are and whether or not they can maybe go on and push and win the league. I'd definitely be a lot more faithful towards Carlisle, but Morecambe, I think they'll be in and around the playoffs. I mean, there's nothing to say they can't be in the top 7, but I think for them it's going to be interesting to see who they get in the door and who departs. Because, like I say, if you're Morecambe and Carlisle who haven't been in the National League for a long time, and you have to readjust to non-league, football, and then the finances that come with it, and you lose it. I think you may get a little bit from the EFL, but not too much. But it'll be interesting to see how they both sort of do in terms of the summer window and in terms of the recruitment.
There you are. Well, Liam says the National League is a tough league. Look at Rochdale, Yeovil, and Southend United.
Well, there's a lot of League 1, League 2 clubs in there. Do you know what I mean? And there's lots of then Rochdale, Oldham, Forest Green, who've obviously been in League 1 recently. They're all trying to get into the Football League for next season. There's so much on the line. You've got York as well. If they don't make it up this season, they're going to be one of the favourites. I mean, they've got a good ownership. They've got some good players, good stadium. So I think next season's National League is going to be really interesting.
Yeah, Liam says Morecambe's got ownership issues as well, apparently.
And that's what I'm saying. It's going to be a real challenge for them.
Are Carlisle still owned by Americans? Yeah, I believe they are, by the Castle Sports Group, they're called.
Yes.
Yep, it's a very rare team comes straight back up. There you are. Good evening, Lewis. Hope you're keeping well as well. Liam says he wouldn't back Carlisle, Morecambe to go up. Both will struggle. It depends in terms on the finances, who stays, who leaves as well.
I think Carlisle, they're not going to. I don't expect Carlisle to walk the league. I think they'll be definitely in and around it. I think it'll be a challenge because, like I say, you've got York, you've got potentially Yeovil as well. Some of the southern clubs have got money. You've got the likes of like say Rochdale, Oldham, Hartlepool, Forest Green. There's loads of sort of decent clubs in that National League. So the way it's structured up, it is harder to get out, but it makes it more interesting as the seasons go on.
That's it, absolutely.
Like you look at the National League now, Peter. It's turned into like a mini League 2.
Yeah, and Arsenal are now out the Champions League.
They're gone.
Oh well, what another trophyless season for the Gunners.
We've got them next week as well.
Oh, we love it if we just beat those again. Beat them 4 times.
1-0 Isaac.
Oh, when you there you are. Liam says Forest Green or York will most likely be favourites if they don't go up, because both of them teams are in the playoffs. To be honest, York City are playing some nice football apparently.
If I'm honest, I would like to see York get promoted. That's what I'm hoping on, because when you think of a club like York, they're actually a football league club. I've seen them mainly a lot in League 2, that time League 1. And York's quite the club, really, when you think of what's around it. York's quite touristy as well. And I think that I was watching something a while back. They've got these owners who are ambitious, who want to get them not just up in the League 2, but they want to take them onto the League 1 and the Championship. So, who knows? But like I say, it's what the National League need. They need these clubs like Oldham, Rochdale, York. I do worry a little bit for Gateshead now, because I feel like they haven't got the budget to maybe be in that top 10 anymore, unless they change the structure and they get a new ownership. If it's going out the way it is, they're going to be one of them clubs that are maybe down the bottom end rather than being at the top. I hope I'm wrong, but given the way it's going at the minute, it's not looking promising.
Yeah. Mason's asking, do you like York's new ground? Have you been to York's new ground?
Yes, I went to go and watch York against Gateshead, and they drew 1-1. I went with Jamie. I can't remember how many years ago it was now. It must have been 3-4 years ago. Oh, I love it. Like, what's around it, and there's plenty to do. It's a shame it's an absolute mile away from the ground. From the old ground, Bootham Crescent, it's a mile away from the actual town centre. City centre, should I say? York from the station. It's just me and Jamie. We didn't know there was a shuttle at the time. We ended up walking, and it was about an hour from the train station. But I suppose I got the steps in.
Yeah, Liam says Southend will be stronger next season. The same with Oldham.
Julie says,
yep. Used to see the York fans on the A19 on a weekend, flags out of the window, honking their car horns. To be honest, Liam says he doesn't want Gateshead to be in League Two because of the stadium.
That's another put off as well, isn't it? Because Gateshead, they don't own the stadium, which is a real shame, and the council haven't done a great deal to really rectify the problems. And it's, Gateshead's been voted as one of the worst in National League, which is understandable, given the view, especially if you're an away fan. There's no roof anymore either, so there's challenges all over at the club that they need to rectify. But I've always said for Gateshead, if someone could just come in, with some money, easier said than done, and just build like a 4 to 5K capacity ground, have like 2 sides, that are seated, and then maybe 2 sort of standing behind the goal each side, and then have it like that, and then sort of separate the away fans a little bit. And it would be a great little plan. But again, I think they would have to either knock down the International Stadium and rebuild it. Easier said than done, or they move to a different site. But it's Gateshead Stadium, isn't it? It's obviously the metro station's named after it as well. But I think what they'd have to do is knock that whole thing down if they get permission, and just. I'm more talking of if they get some investment. If someone can just be a bit ambitious and give them the stadium that the fans deserve.
Yeah, totally, absolutely. Liam says he went to Barnet v York this season. I bet that would have been a good game. I don't know what.
Yes, Barnet are in the Football League. Congratulations to them on that promotion.
Yeah, it's up there with Chelmsford as the worst non-league stadium, according to Liam. Interest. Wow. Grounds like Gateshead, Chelmsford, Hornchurch are constant grounds with running tracks.
To be fair, the view isn't the worst for the home fans. It's more for the away fans. It's actually not bad.
That's it, isn't it?
It's only a problem when the ball goes out of play, and then the ball boys have to go and retrieve the ball, and it's like miles down the track, and then it slows the game down. But I think they've changed that now, the multi-ball system.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. Darren says, do you go and watch Benfield? Yep, you do. Because that's on your doorstep.
I love watching Benfield. I think they're very well supported. They've got ultras now, and it's great to see the younger lads getting behind the team, and it's the new generation of fans, and you're seeing it up and down the National League, and down the non-league pyramid. It's a lot of fans are turning towards non-league football, and it's great to see. And hopefully Benfield can go on a better run of it this season. Next season compared to this season, because this season, what a disastrous start. And then obviously the change managers, we've got Ferguson in now, and he's doing a really good job. And we just need to hopefully try and retain some players. Not going to be easy because it's a part-time club, and we've got a great chairman as well who does an excellent job, and he really looks after the club. And hopefully, like I say, in the summer, we'll get it right and hopefully be up there. We don't expect to go on and win the league or anything like that. We're just honest club, just get results and just hope for the best, really. Yeah, what will be, will be.
Mason says he cannot stand the Bonnet manager. If they get promoted, they can stay there for now. It is for Athletics. They won't knock it down to corner Mick. And I'll be keeping well as well, Mick. Great job here. Cheers, Darren. Right, one more question. will ask Sharkey as well, and it says, "Do you think non-league football doesn't get the credit it deserves?"
Yeah, I'd say yes, because at the end of the day, it still gets called it's rubbish football. It's this, that, and the other. It's not the same. This, that, and the other. And like I said at the beginning of the video, your opinion will change if you actually go and see it for yourself. Just go and take in a match, no matter where it is, whether it be the top end of National League or whether it be, local grassroots football. For example, Newcastle, Benfield, Heaton, Stannerton. There's always a football club in your local area that could do what you're supporting. You'll be amazed, what you experience when you're there, from how cheap it is to how close you are with people. And they'll talk all things football, whether it be the local club you're seeing or whether it be football that you're maybe watching on TV, whether it be the Premier League or the EFL. You've got like 50-50 draws. There's so much you can do, at non-league football to be a part of it. And like I say, you're never too far away from the action either. Like you're pretty close. I mean, I can speak for Newcastle, Benfield. You're pretty close to the pitch. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You don't feel like you're a mile away. You feel like you're part of it and you're part of something. And like I say, you have to go there and experience it to have that true overall opinion before anything really. Because like I say, people are too quick to judge. And some fans are so used to top flight football, and that's fine. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. But yeah, I would say please just go and check your local non-league club. Sorry about me. Yeah, if I get a bit dry.
Doesn't have to be National League. Doesn't have to be the National League. You got to go and watch.
No, yeah, like I say, you can go and watch it. Maybe EFL club if you've got one near you, because especially if you live in like down south London, there's a lot of clubs down there.
Mm-hmm.
Midlands or Northwest. Or if you got, do you know what I mean? There's always a club around the doors after the EFL. You've also got the likes of Harrogate. You've got the likes of like Bromley, for example. So just to name a few that could do with your support. That's not as maybe as expensive as say your local Premier League club or even Championship, if that's where you want to take it.
Yep. Even Liams just says non-league clubs care about care about the fans, unlike the Premier League clubs. He's got a good point there. Good night, lads. Take care, Darren. Also, there's no tourists in non-league. Yeah. I've also got a couple of EFL clubs near me, like Millwall and Charlton.
Exactly.
There you are. There you go. So, there you are. Do you go to the training ground, says Mick? You been the training... He's on about the Newcastle training ground.
Oh, I haven't been for ages. The last time I went to the training ground would have been when Eddie Howe got the job. And I think he was in the door for was it a few weeks? I think it was. And I remember you were there, Peter. I'm sure there was.
Yeah, I think that must have been, yeah.
There was Adam P. There was a few at the training ground. And I remember it was freezing cold, but yeah, I just wanted to get a glimpse of himself and the coaches. And yeah, he'd come out and he was good enough to get a photograph, and that was brilliant. That was, like I say, about going on 4 years ago now. So I'm probably long overdue a visit. But yeah, like I say, I don't have a lot of time to go to the training ground. But like I say, nowadays the players are, from what you tell me, they all just drive off for safety.
Yeah, I've been to a couple of Millwall games. It's nowhere near as bad as people make out. Oh, okay, then. I suppose that's good. Be about the last time for me, says Mick Phil. Well, then there you are. Then. So there you are. Well, then, that is it for tonight's show. Thank you so much, everyone. It's great to have Sharkey on. To discuss today's experience with non-league football. Good to see you. Hopefully, we'll see you again on the channel again very, very soon. Thank you to everyone in the chat. Thank you so much. With some good points as well, your questions as well. And mods, we always appreciate what you do on this channel as well. Coming up throughout the rest of this week, we are back tomorrow night for our preview to Chelsea at home on for Sunday. Friday will be the crazy bonkers show. Saturday, I think it's going to be probably a quiet one then, because the non-league football finishes. A lot of it's now pretty much come to an end now, unfortunately. So it might be a quiet Saturday. Sunday, I'll be at the game, obviously. Of course, quick thoughts, fan reactions, and also possibly on the same night, or they'll be the Monday night, will be the match review and the player ratings show, obviously, as well. So, so that's what we got coming out throughout the rest of the week. Great job here, Sharkey. Cheers, Ian. Cracking show, lads. Cheers, Chucky. Take care, everyone. You as well, Ian. Good night, all, and we'll see you back on tomorrow night, Mason, for the preview as well. Remember, guys, if you have enjoyed the show, please do remember to give us the thumbs up. Really important we get the likes so people know where to find us in the search results on YouTube. Do hit those likes if you have enjoyed the show tonight. Please, of course, if you're brand new at the channel, if you're not yet subscribed and you enjoy what goes on the channel week in, week out, please hit that subscribe button, free to do so. It does help make the channel grow. We're on our way to 2,400. Help us get there as soon as we can. Your support means everything to us. And it is completely free to do as well. And please hit that bell notification. It does let you know whenever a live show is taking place or a pre-recorded video gets uploaded as well. So please do hit that bell to make sure you're up to date with the content that we bring out for you that you do not want to miss at all. And if you want to give a donation, feel free. And if you want to become a member, it's 99p at the join button and you'll be included in the prize draws as well. So, but anyways, thank you again for tuning in for tonight, and we'll see you all back again tomorrow. Until then, everyone, enjoy the rest of the evening. Have a good one, guys, and we'll see you later.
Take care.
Everyone, see you later.
Radio